Head track and field coach Jeff Masnet of the North Park Vikings. North Park coming off probably one of the most successful weekends they've had in recent memory at the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin Championships this past weekend at Carthage College. And Jeff, let's just talk a bit about what the teams were able to do. Unfortunately, the men finished 8th overall as a team, but the women, talk about what they were able to do, finishing 6th as a team. One of the best finishes they've had in recent memory, like 10 years, you were saying.
Yeah. So that was the goal going in. The goal going in, honestly, is just to do the best that we can. And then track is one of those sports where there's not a lot of defense you can play and hold the opponents to low totals or whatnot. We just have to do the best we can, and they add up the points, and that's what we get. But we're hopeful that we could finish 6th or higher, which we hadn't done since 2005.
Wow, okay.
And we were able to do that. So and we had a fairly strong challenge from Milliken. They had kids stepping up and scoring in places we didn't anticipate them scoring in, so we needed to do our part and do better than we projected we would do, and we did. So we were very, very excited about that.
Talking about what Alana Gunnarsson was able to do, she had 2 school records, actually, 2 school records, both in the 55 meters and the 200 meters, and now she's 12th overall in the long jump, has a chance to possibly compete at NCAA Nationals in a couple of weeks. Talking about what she was able to do in this meet over the weekend.
Yes, she really had an incredible meet, and it began on Friday with the long jump, which is ironically the one that she's ranked the highest in nationally, but it's the one she still doesn't have our school record in because we've got a pretty studly school record there from a few years back. But at any rate, she came in 2nd in the event and she was ranked 4th coming in, so she kind of did better than what she was anticipated to do. And Illinois Wesleyan's just got a really good group of jumpers, good jumpers and good sprinters, and it's a lot of the same kids kind of crossing over. But at any rate, she came in 2nd in that event, jumped 5.58 meters, which when she hit the sand, it was the 8th best jump in the country up to that point this year. And a few other meets happened over the weekend to where now she's down to the 12th spot, but 17 will go to nationals, and we just have to kind of keep our fingers crossed that she survives this coming weekend with what they call last chance meets. So she came in 2nd in the 200, was ranked 7th coming in, and was in one of the slower heats and just rose to the challenge. She ran 7/10 of a second faster than she ran a week ago, which is a pretty crazy amount of time to lump off in 1 week in the 200 to set her school record by a pretty long shot. I mean, it was a half a second she'd lopped off the school record. So. And then placed obviously 7th also in the 55 dash. So just a great weekend.
Talk about too some of the other performers you had in the women's team. Miranda Gomez gets now 4th all time, 8th place in CCIW in 3,000 meters, as well as a 4x400 relay. They're now 5th all time in a 7th place conference finish. On the distance medley relay team, they're now 5th all time in the conference. Number 3 all time. And then Natalie Swanson too in the weight throw, which she was able to do with a 6th place conference finish, but gets a school record of 14.26 meters. Talk about what she was able to do and just those other athletes as well.
Well, Natalie, first of all, I was really happy for her because she did not have a good meet last year. Just for a variety of reasons, just didn't have a good meet. She fouled 3 times in a weight throw and didn't throw very well in the shot either the next day. And so the big thing was coming into this meet and being able to actually do what she was capable of, and regardless of where that placed. And it worked out on both ends, where she got the school record and placed 6th in the weight throw. Big first throw, so she stuck it out there right in the beginning and was able to hold on in that position the rest of the meet. And then she rebounded the next day, not even rebounded, she came back strong the next day and was 7th in the shot put to be all conference and score big points for both of us for the team in both of those events. So great weekend for her, and we're excited about outdoors because the discus is her best event, and that's an outdoor only event, and we're real excited about what she and Brianna Lippert can do in that event for us. Mia Gomez, she doesn't like Miranda, but we call her Mia, so she had a great anchor leg on our distance medley relay that came in 5th, which for us is huge, that we were smack in the middle of that thing as opposed to being off the back. And we just about got North Central at the end to come in 4th, but we didn't. And so that in and of itself is being close to those guys we're excited about. But so 3rd best all-time time, we came in 5th. The school record that we have is a team that won the DMR back in the day, back in the early 2000s. So they set a nice benchmark for us to try to get in the next couple of years because we don't lose anybody in that distance squad for a long time. So, so at any rate, those were between that and then the 4x4. We're excited about the way our relays ran this weekend.
Talking about too now you guys are going to be moving more towards the outdoor season. How much of a momentum now do you think the women's team is going to have going into the outdoor season after such a successful weekend like this?
Well, it's interesting because we've got a couple of week gap. We've got spring break coming up, so the momentum is there. It's a matter of keeping it going through 3 weeks of kind of funky weather. We'll obviously, just because it's outdoors doesn't mean we just go outside and practice. We'll just keep practicing in the most, obvious place to be, which is indoors at this point. But sending people away for spring break, that's a telltale of where we're going to be outdoors. Is do people go home and get the job done in terms of their training and keep moving forward? And I think that they will, because I think that was a good weekend for us to build from. So
awesome.
Time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at some of the highlights from the men's team, obviously the biggest one is Dave Anderson in the weight throw. Goes 16.8 meters. Gets a school record there, is in second place, gets all conference, now ranks in the top 40 in the NCAA. Talk about what Dave was able to do. He's just continuing to have an exceptional, extraordinary senior season for the Vikings. Talk about what he's been able to do.
He is similar to Natalie that I mentioned earlier. The biggest thing that Dave accomplished this weekend, regardless of place, was that he showed up at the big meet of the year, and he showed up to compete and got it done. If he came in 8th and threw well and kept his brain screwed on tight, his head screwed on tight with his brain in, I would have been happy. And he did, because track is interesting. You have these up and down just like you do just in sports in general. And he did not have a good meet last week and was down in the dumps. And we were all worried about his mentality and he rebounded all week, just focused on the process. And I knew he was very confident going into the weekend. But it's still being confident doesn't always mean you're going to throw well. But he did, and he took the lead on his 4th throw. He held it on his 5th throw and was just edged out by one of the Carthage guys. And they've got a great crew. And I'm real impressed with Dave in the sense of at their place, they got a huge mob of fans all chanting and cheering for their guys. And he was able to just go out there and stay focused. He actually had the best series of any of the throwers at the meet. Even the guy that beat him only had 1 throw better than Dave, and than Dave's 3 best throws. So he had a great meet as far as that goes. I was real excited for him. And he's better outdoors in the discus as well. So I'm excited to see what he and Matt McNamara will do in the discus and the hammer outdoors for us.
Talking about what Manuel Lay and Scott Nietzsche were able to do in the heptathlon. Manuel gets 3,296 points, which is now 2nd all-time at North Park, which was a 6th place finish in the conference, as well as Scott Nietzsche, who had 3,106 points, which is now 3rd all-time at North Park, and it was a 7th place finish in the conference. Talking about what those guys were able to do in the heptathlon.
We asked them to step up and jump in the hep for us. They're pole vaulters that we didn't think were going to have a chance to score in that event, and just looking at the rest of the conference, we thought that there was a chance that they might be able to sneak in there and score a point or 2 for us if we put them in the hep, and they were willing, excited to do it, and it worked out for us. We were able to get 5 pretty valuable team points out of that. They both had nice days on Friday. The first 4 events, Manny had 4 PRs and personal records, and Scott had 3. Scott then the next day had a great pole vault, got his all-time best in the pole vault as part of the HEP on Saturday, and they outscored where I projected they would score. So they just basically did that for the team, and we were fortunate that it worked out to where they had a good experience and showed. Hopefully the rest of the team was like, look, sometimes you just kind of you do something for the squad, and you step up when asked, and we're real proud of them for doing that.
Okay. Talking about, too, what the distance medley relay team was able to do. They took 7th overall in the conference, had a time of 11:04.79, which is now number 4 all time at North Park. Just talking about what the medley relay team was also able to do after you guys had conference.
We're still continuing to move forward with our distance program, and the first few teams are just out there, and there's not a whole heck of a lot we can do at this juncture if we're going to go out and beat North Central or Augie or these types of teams. So we just go out there and do the best we can with and with the last couple of years we've been fortunate to where we've been in a fight for 6th or 7th or 8th, and we've come to this year we got 7th, and it's nice when you look at the fact that we've had track at North Park since the early 60s. So you're talking about 50 years. When you're getting kids to do stuff that are becoming these all-time top marks, number 4, number 3.
Absolutely.
In perspective, it's pretty good stuff that for 50 years, there's only been 2 teams or 3 teams or whatnot, relay squads that have ever run faster than that. And we hope for more and can do more in the future, but in the grand scheme of things, we're pretty excited about what they're doing.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Jeff, for taking the time today, and we wish you guys the best of luck in the weeks to come and the outdoor season.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks so much.